Hello, this is Brent Gregory with a short guideline of using the report which you should have received for your practice set part A, and you received that by email. It should look something like this, what I'm about to show you. If not, it's probably to do with how it's coming on your computer. Do you have HTML settings on? If you don't have HTML settings, well, it probably won't have any formatting. So what's the structure of the report? So firstly your name, email address, and then a short overview of what mark you got, what grade you got. And then it might have some guidelines on what your attention areas are. Now, clearly if you've got a high distinction or a really good distinction, you're probably not going to have much information written there. So this might be a big blank space, and there were a number of very good marks in this particular assignment. Then we go down and look at the next bit, and it is your marks for each question, and your marks compared to the marks available, and then compared to the average marks. And over here there's rankings. Well, all of these rankings are not right. In this case I just put it down as an example. So let's look here. We've got so for the sales journal, firstly look at the 4 special journals. It had 11 marks available. The average mark was 9.3, your mark was 9, and your rank was, well, for that, probably if you'd got 9 out of 11, people did really well in that. The rank probably would have been more like 18, 19, 20, something like that. And same, next one down. So purchases journal, what's the marks available, what was the average mark, what marks did you get, where did you rank, through to cash receipts journal. Well, if you 1.5 out of 10, that would have almost ranked you probably very near the bottom for 1.5 out of 10. Now down here to your total marks out of 110, it's really out of 111 if you add all of those up, it will say it's out of 110. Then convert that to a mark out of 10, and what did you get for credit? So ultimately you're then going to multiply this mark by 2 to see the marks you carry through to the exam. Now there's another way of then looking at that. That's the mark by each individual accounting statement you did, the sales journal, purchases journal, cash receipts journal, cash payments journal, and the 2 subsidiary ledgers, the general journal and the general ledger. Now the next part of the report will help you look at those items in line with some functional areas. So here, posting items to the general ledger. So the maximum mark was 9 marks available for posting items to general ledger. The average was 4.7, so people were not so good at this. If there's an area that needs attention, then what mark you got, where you ranked, and again, you know, we're talking 25, 26, I'm not sure. References, the references often dealt with when you posted marks, when you posted items to the say subsidiary ledger, did you go back to your was there a good path back to say this is from the cash receipts journal 1 or the cash payments journal? Then the amounts, and generally people did pretty well with the amounts, so that is probably the most important area. So the amounts were, did you post, you know, put the right amounts in the right columns, and then did you post them across? Then again, just the general journal and general ledger put in together, and then other items, that's anything else that's not been included, and examples of that of reconciliations. The next part of the assignment goes into a bit more detail. So up above you had your top mark for the sales journal, then this just breaks your marks down. So how did you go for posting? So in this case there was 2 marks available, the average mark is 0.8, no marks. So clearly you need to go back and look at any reference I give you for posting items from the sales journal. If you got no marks in the sales journal, you probably didn't do well in the purchases journal, probably didn't do well in the cash receipts journal, or do well in the cash payments journal. In this case they have. Then we move on to, what else? I'll look at one other item here. In the cash payments journal, there's references there, the reference column, to codes and ticks. Did you put a tick, or in this case a T, to indicate that you posted items to the subsidiary ledger? And the codes, some items from the cash payments journal are posted at the column totals, but some items, those in the other columns, are posted via the reference column. So did you get those items right? Now, if you're not sure about this, the textbook does this quite well. I'll just grab the textbook. Chapter 8, probably about page 330, somewhere around there, 328. So if you go to page 328 onwards, the posting and the whole of the sales journals and purchases journal, cash receipts journal, cash payments journal are treated quite well. As to the subsidiary ledgers, the postage to the subsidiary ledgers being your cash payments subsidiary ledger, cash receipts subsidiary ledger. Did you provide any evidence of reconciliation? And for evidence of reconciliation, if you just had the total from the general ledger in there and you had the total from your subsidiary ledgers and the two agreed, that was accepted as evidence. Then the general journal items, so each particular journal, how did you go with it? For some of you that got reports out early, I did have the wrong names in here. I copied part of this template out of somewhere else and I didn't change the name. But that, if you go back here, the name should be A. Burke. That's, I think, goods returned, the inventory associated with that, then the E entity and M matching entries. And finally, the ledger was broken into two parts, the account balances, and got a total there of 29. I thought it was 27, but total there 29. So that's just for the closing of the balances, and the account codes, that's just putting your right account codes in, and that was worth 5 marks. So that's basically your report. Have a sense of how to use it, and I've done it in this way for a few reasons. One of which is, in a sense, this is how financial information is reported. You know, there's some type of target, what you've achieved. There could also be some type of variation, so actual to budget. Well, I hope you had fun with that. Now, and I hope you can use the report you get to guide you on to what your next step is. Bye.